Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so that potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make an informed buying decision. If you would like to learn more about this business, including details like what type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included with the business, simply visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business's listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. First up, let's learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
I have a solid background in building and running online businesses. In addition to this business, which I have built from the ground up and run for the past 9 years, I also bought and ran 2 other online businesses as well. I have since sold those businesses, and now I am looking to sell this business.
Why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
Well, I've really enjoyed running this business for the past 9 years. And I do have a small amount of emotional attachment to it. It is time for me to move on to the next chapter in my life. I also own another business here in the city that I am living in right now. And I would like to focus 100% of my time on that business as we're seeing a lot of growth. And it is the business that I plan to have during the next chapter of my life.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
At this point in time, I actually do a minimal amount of work to maintain the business. I basically every week work on updating old content and occasionally also writing new content. And that involves just creating a new recipe and testing it, making sure it works, and then providing that recipe to my photographer to make and shoot all the photographs and videos for. In addition to that, I do a small amount of upkeep with Pinterest, just scheduling videos on Pinterest. I also provide the list of Pinterest pins that I would like to do to my VA. And the VA does all the creation of the pins and also scheduling the pins in Pinterest.
So if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try to grow it?
If I were to keep this business, I think the main avenue I would use to continue trying to grow it, well, I guess there would be 2. The first would be updating of old content. So this site has about 1,000 recipes on it. While a lot of the recipes do rank pretty well in Google, some of the older recipes aren't SEO optimized. So taking the time to get those SEO optimized so that they can move up to page 1 of Google is definitely something I would work on. In addition to the products that I have, and that includes the cookbooks and the courses and the guide, I would take more effort to, market those to try to get more revenue from those streams, because that is an area that I haven't worked at very hard.
Right. And what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
Honestly, I think the biggest risks to this business would be Google algorithm changes and Pinterest algorithm changes, since those are the main areas of traffic. I will say Google has been a little tumultuous the past few years with their algorithm updates, and to date, none of the Google updates had any type of significant impact on this site. I think mainly because, we do everything above board. We're not using any black hat Google strategies. And we write our content to be very helpful to the user, not necessarily writing content just purely to rank. And I think that's enabled us to stay high on Google's list.
How much support are you willing to offer the buyer who acquires this business?
I'm willing to offer up to 60 days of online support to the new buyers. And this includes any questions they may have on the site, any help they may need doing certain tasks that they're unfamiliar with, and also just to answer any questions.
Are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out agreement?
I may be open to something like an earn-out payment structure. It would have to be at the right price. I do plan on using the money from the site to invest in growth for the other business that I am operating. So I do prefer to have just a cash payment, but with the right offer, I could be open to an earn-out payment structure.
Okay, final question. If you had to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why is your business a business worth buying?
So I really think this is a great business and it's definitely worth buying because we've been on an upward trajectory for the past few years. I mean, honestly, deciding to sell was a pretty big decision for me because I do love this business and I see so much opportunity for the future with a little bit of work updating old content and marketing the current products we have and potentially marketing some new products. Just due to the size of the email list, 10,000 email subscribers is a pretty good list and it offers a lot of opportunity for additional revenue streams. But I think just the solidness of this business and the fact that you haven't seen any significant drops and you just see that ongoing upward movement in the revenue of the blog, I think it indicates a very strong position going forward. And also the amount of time that I spend on the business each week is, between 5 to 10 hours, which is a pretty minimal amount of time. And you could almost take this as a more passive income stream, especially if you hire somebody to do some of those tasks that I'm currently doing. You could literally have a blog that is almost 100% purely passive income. And then also, if you wanted to take over some of the tasks yourself and create a business that has more profitability and where you work on it more, it gives you that opportunity as well if you want to make this business your full-time income.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this business is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll find everything you need to know about this business. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time.